Actually, I think I'm going to title this video how I got out of motorcycle riding. There have been a lot of vlogs and even some challenges around, or tags I should say, around how you got into motorcycle vlogging or how you got into motorcycles. And I thought it might be interesting to do a vlog on why I stopped riding a motorcycle. Well, back in, I think it was 1984 when I got my Yamaha XT 550 Enduro. And Enduro is somewhat like a dual sport is now, only back then it was more or less just a dirt bike that had street legal lights on it. The bike was a single cylinder 550 engine with a lot of power, a lot of low end torque, and I just did not have the skill set or the common sense to handle it very well. Anyway, moved up to Orlando in 1985, and one day while I'm sitting at the house, bored out of my skull, I didn't have a job at the time, I decided I'd ride up to the grocery store to buy myself a six-pack of beer. Not that I was drinking and driving. I didn't have any beer, so I was going to get some. I want to make that point clear here. Anyway, I got up to the store, got my six-pack, and headed back. Okay, a little background information. Before I ever moved up here, from day one, the first day I got the bike, I dropped it and broke the end off the clutch lever. I wound up wrecking that bike several times while we lived in Miami before we moved to Orlando, and I guess that should have been a sign of things to come. I just did not have the skill set for that bike, and I kept making very, very stupid mistakes, stupid decisions. One of the wrecks that I had on it, which again I didn't really get very badly hurt in any of those accidents, they were just kind of minor accidents. I was tootling across a field and somebody had thrown an old fence out in the field and the grass had grown up around it, and when I went over it, the undercarriage of the bike caught in the fence and stopped dead, throwing me over the handlebars, nearly castrating me on the way. I got here a little quicker than I thought. This speed bump wasn't here. I came hauling ass around this corner, probably at about 40 miles an hour. And when I got to about right here, in that driveway dead ahead, right around the curve there, was a young lady in a bikini bending over washing her car. And I just totally blew this curve up here. You see where the green boat is up there? By the time I realized I was going too fast, I panicked, hit my brakes. The bike skidded into this curb. There was not a fence there at the time, and I wrapped around that telephone pole backwards. I thought I had broke my back. Luckily, the only thing that happened to me is I crushed my ankle. And to this day, I still have a 7-inch steel plate and 6 stainless steel I'm sorry, I'm getting a little giddy here. To this day, I have a stainless steel plate and 7 screws in my leg. It's about a 6-inch steel plate and 7 screws. Sorry, coming back by there just kind of brought back memories. Anyway, yeah, the bike flipped out to the left when it hit the curb, and it tossed me off the bike, and I rolled around and literally straddled the, went across the pole backwards, and I thought my back was broke. I didn't even know I'd broken my leg. So that was pretty bad. Anyway, I got here faster than I thought. I was in the middle of talking about wrecking that bike a couple of other times. One time of which I was riding with a friend of mine, and we had stopped, and we went to get back on the bike, and when we took off, I gave it a little too much gas, and wound up flipping the bike. The bike did a wheelie, and we went flying off the back. Neither one of us got hurt. In fact, we just kind of laughed it off. But when I went to pick up the bike, damn it, I dropped it and dropped it right on my toe and broke my toe. Another accident, that accident with the telephone pole back there was the worst one. It's where I broke my leg, and I didn't ride the bike again for about another year and a half. Anyway, I was riding with a friend of mine, and I went to cross a sidewalk. I was riding through a field, and went to cross the sidewalk and go out into traffic, and there was a lot of traffic coming, so I stayed on the shoulder of the road. I was only doing about, I don't know, 10-15 miles an hour. And I noticed there was a bad area in the shoulder of the road, a little ditch up ahead, a drainage ditch, so I tried to get back up on the sidewalk, and I hit it at too steep of an angle, and it caused the bike to flip out to the right. I caught my ankle under the bike and then proceeded to slide down the road with my buddy on my back. And yet, once again, I was not wearing boots. I was not wearing full gear. I did have a full face helmet, thank goodness, because I could see the sidewalk sliding by in front of my face. My friend got up laughing. He didn't get hurt, but I thought I broke my hip because I got slammed down really hard. My right side was hamburger. It was nice and raw. And I had taken a chunk of meat out of my ankle right next to one of the screws and steel plate that was already in my ankle. That was the next to the last time I ever rode that bike. I didn't ride it again for 2 years, and that last time I rode it, it was just to give a guy a demonstration of the bike before I sold it. So that was kind of bad stuff. Anyway, so that's how I got out of motorcycle riding. I did not start riding again for another 23 years. In fact, just about 3 years ago, well, almost, yeah, 3.5 years ago, I bought my little Ruckus. And then last year in June, I bought my, my DN01. Getting back on the scooter and riding just kind of gave me the bug again. And I talk about that in some of my other videos, so I won't go into it here. But anyway, that's why I stopped riding.